Namaste and welcome to this exciting episode of Sattology, Debunking Mythology. And this is the 14th episode we're doing, and you can ask me live questions. And if you have any queries, you can ask me. आप सबका सतोलॉजी के इस एपिसोड में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। ये 14th एपिसोड है सतोलॉजी का ऑन दिस इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक जो आजकल चल रहे हैं करंट अफेयर्स में। Julian Assange, Dalai Lama in the US, election season in the West, and also what was the charges against Julian Assange. We all know that. So practically they were first we'll begin with the Julian Assange story. He is now back in Australia. He was convicted for releasing secret files of the United States. There are many expose. He has done many expose. He had done. The list is endless. It is. We can start with Iraq war logs, and then collateral murder video 2010, Afghanistan war diary, and then it was hacking techniques, diplomatic cables, U.S. interference in India, in Arab, in many other countries of the world, and also United Nations, and also the almost 2 million emails from Syrian political figures and Syrian government and the ISIS creation in Syria, Levant, and all these places, global intelligence files, and interference in the Indian banking system. Very common. Banking system, collapsing Indian banking system. And then targeting world leaders, and also Clinton emails, leaks, all these were issues. That's why he was arrested, and 14 years he spent, 14 years. He spent 14 years in various jails, 5 years in high security jail. This is the Julian Assange story. And Parthaji, I'm going to answer your question. Julian Assange linked to SAIS HQ in Australia? Actually, yes and no. The answer is yes and no, because the Five Eyes headquarters, you're saying, in Australia, it is may not be the thing. Julian Assange has been known to be independent, but now he has entered the plea deal in Saipan, in the US territory, because he is a US citizen. And now he is admitted to the American state that he was not trying to produce harm to the Americans. He was just releasing information as his journalistic freedom. That's what he was saying. He's saying. And so I think this is going to change many things for many people in the West, particularly, which has lost freedom of journalism. Julian Assange was a blot on American freedom of expression. And that's why now, since he's been released, that redemption has been brought. And which is a funny thing that he's released in Australia, not in the US. So he's in Australia, back with his family, Stella, his wife and his children, and his base in Australia, Canberra. What happens in the future, we don't know. But I think that there is a severe danger to him. So this is the problem right now, and which is a major issue for global, at least the Western press freedom. Now, I'll take all your questions also, because this is an open session. Ayan Pachauri ji is asking, did Vibhishan set up present-day Lanka using Mantra Vidya? I'll answer that question. Okay, Arun Pachauri ji. Let me cover the next part, is the Dalai Lama. Now, Dalai Lama is, we all know that Dalai Lama is a very popular figure, and and Dalai Lama is in US today. Dalai Lama, he is he has been declared as a state enemy by Chinese. In fact, they have set up another Dalai Lama, 14 Panchen Lama, in Lhasa. Now, this Dalai Lama is the original Dalai Lama, the 14th actually, the 13th Dalai Lama, and which has was brought to India with CIA help in 1959. He has been living is a Tibetan government in exile in Dharamshala. I covered that in the last part also, that the reason why the US Congress reps came to India to get him out of India to US. Now they are saying it's a knee surgery, but there is something else is happening there. The US Congress is about is to pass a resolution on Tibet, and they are doing this to create one more hotspot in somewhere trying to make Chinese and India fight. So India is going to play a very balancing role. They're going to support the Dalai Lama. At the same time, would not get drawn into any war. As far as all the information that I have been made available by our guests on our channel, which you know, many of them come on the channel, so you all know them, that the war is not going to happen, and India is not going to fight with China. In fact, Indian-Russian friendship may even help that to broker a temporary peace deal with China. And so far, this is what I know. And I don't think so. Indian interest is there to fight with China on anybody else's instigation. If China attacks India, that is also the plan. That is also appears to be a plan that somewhere in the Chinese Communist Party, someone is convinced to attack India, and then India will turn towards the West. I don't think so. It's going to happen. India. It is not 1962. Many military generals, retired generals, have spoken in many channels on YouTube that this is not the reality now. In fact, India has an upper hand in military on the border, which Americans don't seem to understand because many times Americans are not aware of the ground realities, including the intelligence agencies. Not aware. So that's why I don't think so is going to be any possibility. So don't think about the war at all. Now the third is the latest archaeological findings, which is very important to know. Please do share, like, so that more people join these kind of episodes based on facts, and I'm going to cover all these issues. सरोज पनिग्राही, जय जय जगन्नाथ. और जो लोग हिंदी में सुनना चाहते हैं, प्लीज राइट ओवर देयर सो आई कैन convert that in Hindi also. We can do Hindi and English both. So Julian Assange in Australia, how long his safety, and we don't know. But he is a symbol of freedom, press freedom, and his incarceration due to American influence was illegal in many ways. 14 years in jail, and only last 5 years in maximum security jail. And so now it's a long period of life lost. Dalai Lama, you all know, there's a big geopolitical game going on. There is a reason, and there is a reason for Julian Dalai Lama to be in the US. Apparently it's said to be knee surgery, but we know what it is. It is not knee surgery, it's something else. And the reason for he is here is geopolitical reasons, is to make India and China come at each other. It's not going to happen. Both India and China know that, and India has a military superiority on the border in all aspects, whether it's sea or land border and ammunition. India has managed to take care of itself in the case of any eventuality. So it's not 1962, it's not even 1999, it's 2024. So this war is not going to happen, and that's where the American policy fails here. But nonetheless, Dalai Lama is a wonderful person. I've met him, and he's a wonderful individual, and he respects Hindus a lot, and that is the Tibet's original relationship with Hindus. I want to cover Kalash people and Yazidi also, because a lot of news is coming out of Kalash people, and many Western videos I have seen on Kalash people. Totally wrong. Kalash people are Hindu people. Yazidi people are Hindu people. Are Hindus. They have both of communities have strong connections with Hindus, and most of the reports which come out and is a need to save them. We don't with Kalash people. I can't say much because it's a very small community, hardly 30,000 or less. With the Yes, the population is almost a million, and then the Kurd region, which is the region which is claimed by the Turks, Iraqis, and other people also, and they are in severe danger or extermination at the hands of Turkey. Now, Turkey, we all know, is a rogue nation now. It is working whimsically, very poor nation. The lira value has dropped. Very, whatever you see, they're making this plane and that plane. That is just a propaganda. None of their planes, including helicopters, are not operational. Uh, the latest attack helicopter there, they're competing with HAL. It's not operational. And also, their drones were an easy target practice for most of the. If they were used extensively by Ukraine, and they are not very effective. In fact, Iran has a better drone production capacity than Turkey. So just ignore that completely. Also, I want to point out some new archaeological issue findings in Serbia and also in Iceland. In Iceland, there was an elephant discovered, elephant stone discovered, looks like an elephant, but it is said to be a fossil fuel. How did elephants reach Iceland? That's a question. How did elephants reach Iceland? So Iceland is claiming that they will have a they have elephants in their backyard. There were elephants there. How did they reach there? That's a mystery resolved. I have an answer because before the sea rise, 150 meters or so, elephants were able to travel to most of these islands, most of these territories. Iceland is part of the Shakadweep, and America is part of, sometimes it referred to as Varunalai also, because Varuna is worshipped there. Kronchudweep, North America, I'm talking about. We have to talk about our narratives, our Puranic narratives, and also the world needs to know that Purana, Mahabharata, Ramayana have the most accurate description of the ancient world, and which the church has been trying to suppress continuously. So, if you live under the suppression of the church, then probably you will not get the good information, independent information, and which we all need to be concerned about because we have a right for truthful knowledge. Many stories have been made up by so called Western scholars and investigators or the discoverers, and looking by or by doing some interviews and recording it. Just because you produce a paper doesn't mean that paper is accurate. Sometimes the papers are fabricated. We have seen that in the example of the Indian history. Most of the Western records of the Indian history were fabricated. Now, taking the example of a boiled rice, one grain of rice can tell me if the whole pot is boiled or not. Similar way, I can say that if the Indian history recording was so much fabricated, then every other continent's history was fabricated if it is being written by a European. I cannot say all the Europeans are like that, but majority. If one is wrong, two is wrong, and 30-40% are wrong, 50% are wrong, that means there is a reason to doubt all of them. So I am doubting all of them. If you read history from a European perspective or European scholar, then probably you'll have to research further to understand. We are doing our very best to bring out the truth, and our basis is Puran, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and those texts are so old, and they had no such system of organized system of colonization over there. There was no agenda, and therefore those historical records from the Indian perspective are the most accurate ones, and I'll rather rely on them to understand the world ancient history than to rely on any European scholar. With that being said, Iceland's elephant discovery is a a striking example of Vedic culture being present in Iceland. And the elephant's head appears to be an Indian elephant, not an African elephant. There's a difference between African elephant and an Indian elephant. Indian elephant, the forehead is more slanting towards the forward area. African elephant is high and it goes up and down, like straight down. That's the difference between Indian elephant and African elephant. So elephant discovery in Iceland is mostly connected to, I think, the Indian elephant, and I'll show you some pictures also of that. Coming to elections season in the West. Now, election season in the West, according to me, is there are the major issues everywhere are immigration. Common issue in the West, immigration. Number two is economic revival, and number three, I'm going to cover all of your questions. I can see all the questions, Parthaji and Mohit Kaushik. I will definitely cover all the questions. Okay. And those of you who would like to hear the answer in Hindi, just tell me. I'll do that in Hindi also, both Hindi and English. See, in the two major points: immigration, economic revival, and third is war. These are the three main issues in all USA and all entire Europe. We have seen in Europe the countries, most of the countries are going towards the right wing. Right wing means pro government, pro monarch, to give a very strong hand to beat the radicalism, Islamism, which is creeping into Europe in a big way. Many parts of Europe we know are unrecognizable now, including Paris. So the Paris is burning, London is burning, Scotland is burning, Ireland is burning, Sweden is burning. Every single European country is unsafe. I mean, I would say that if you are traveling to Europe, be careful. One incident happened with somebody I know recently of getting snatched, his things, possessions snatched in Germany. And that person is an American citizen with Indian origin. So it happened just a couple of days back, 2 days back to be precise. And so maintain precautions if you're Indian origin person. It doesn't matter. You've never been to India also. Some people have never been to India, the Indian origin, but never been to India. The parents are Indian. It applies to you. If you look Indian, or if the others can recognize you as an Indian, then it's a problem. You have to be careful. It doesn't matter which passport you carry. Okay. Now, so these are the main issues: war, the Ukraine war, and many other wars, because Europe is fighting for survival. The colonization of Africa is being questioned. The colonization of Asia is being questioned. Even the AUKUS and why there should be a European or Western Navy in the backwaters of countries like India and Asian countries, Indonesia, Malaysia. Why? Why can't Europeans just live in Europe? Why can't Europeans just live in Europe? So that's a bullying tactic. A navy in your backyard means I can attack anytime. So that was a 1945 or pre 1945 mindset. Things have changed. European nations must withdraw their navies back to their shores. We don't need that. Nobody needs that security now because their navies usually protect their own interests. Like they've acquired territory. There's so many territories in Asia, small islands have been occupied by European navies, and nobody's questioning that. But why gradually in Africa the voices are being raised? Why they need European army, navy, or air force presence in their continent? The answer is very clear. Most of the countries are heavily colonized. 14 countries using CFR is French currency. The many countries using pesos or Portuguese pesos, or some countries using US dollar. So all these things are under question right now. So this is the status, and I think that's what Europe is going to consider. Europe is going to find itself into more problem in North America, particularly US, Canada. We have bigger issues. Khalistan is one of the major issues. Actually, Canada has no issue practically. It is creating issues because it is still ruled by the monarch, King of England. So it is still under the control of the Britain, small Britain or UK, and therefore it is acting like a puppet. So entire Khalistan issue is a British intelligence and Canadian intelligence same. It's Five Eyes issue. It has nothing to do with any other country, including Khalistanis. It's a very small number. It's hardly 3-4 thousand people, and particularly the big organizations which control their temples, Sikh temples. These are the organizations part of it. Indian government has to take strong action because the entire European force is working against the Indian government to bail them out of economic misery. So they're looking forward to India to bail them out of economic misery, and therefore there is a huge election interference in India by them because the current leadership doesn't allow them that leverage. I'm making it very clear to you. That's the whole point. Europe is looking for a bailout. The only country which has bailed them out in the past is India. Not a single South American country can bail them out because they are all converted Catholic countries, and Catholic countries are mostly poor under the control of the church, and therefore they cannot bail anybody out, including themselves, whether it's Mexico, Colombia, Peru, any country. Most of these countries are heavily colonized and they cannot bail themselves out. It's a poverty will be there. I don't know whether how Brazil can be considered a rich country now, or even Mexico. They're poor countries. If you look at their actual trade figures, Mexico has a poverty of 45%. Brazil has a poverty of 46%. I don't know. I mean, how do they govern? Argentina, 57% poverty. 57%. So I don't know whether these countries are even worth saving unless they go back to the original religion and culture, which is the native. They won't allow. So the countries which are really stable in South America are Bolivia, Uruguay, and to some extent Peru. But other countries are very volatile. Some parts of Mexico are also very safe. Like where I was there recently in Merida, where I proved that the Uxmal is a temple of Ushna, which is which is the Shukracharya. Okay. So this is the election season in the West. A lot of noise you're going to see. And let me start taking the questions of everybody. Start with the first. Parthaji. Parthaji, is Julian Assange linked to Five Eyes headquartered in Australia? Julian Assange worked against the Five Eyes. That's why he was arrested and jailed. He exposed everybody's wrongdoings. That's why he was jailed. Did Vibhishan set up present day Lanka using Mantra Vidya? No, the present day Sri Lanka is a name given in 1972. Before that, it was not the name of this place. Before that, and even now, local people in Sri Lanka, which is the new name, you call them the Sinhalese. You should ask everybody a question why they call them Sinhalese, not Sri Lankese. They call them as Sri Lankans, Sinhalese. Sinhalese is the actual name. And that is in Purana also. Bhagavad Purana also is called Simhaladweep. In Ramayana also, it's called Simhaladweep. The seven islands south of India. One of them is Lanka, another was Simhaladweep, and another, there are five others mentioned in my book, the One Arrow One Kill. You can check it out over there. So the present day Sri Lanka is not the Ravan's Lanka. It is cannot be. Everyone before me has proved it. Pandit Kota Venkat Chalam. In our time, Nilesh Okji has proved it. I have written it. And many other authors have done it. Cannot be. So the present day Lanka is Maldives. आज भी असुर लोग ही रहते हैं वहां पे कुछ बदला नहीं है ओके आयन पचूरी जी थैंक यू आई होप इट आंसर्स सिमहला द्वीप जय जय जगन्नाथ सरोज पानीग्राही जय जगन्नाथ थैंक यू प्रणाम आदित्य सर मोहित कौशिक जी प्रणाम प्रणाम Can you have a separate show with any experts plus US delegates visit to Tibet? Thank you. So US delegates were not allowed to visit Tibet, but they came to India, Dharamshala. And they are trying to go to Tibet, and some were allowed who are favorable to CPC. If you are not CPC favorable, you won't be allowed there. So it's a big game being played. मैंने last show में भी आपको बताया था, big game being played so that these Democrats are able to gain Buddhist votes. Understand, Buddhism is very popular in North America. In fact, most of the Christians, when they leave Christianism, they become Buddhist first, and then they become Hindu. So Buddhism is a path to come back to Sanatana Dharma. Because once they go to Buddhism, they realize the mother of Buddhism is Sanatana Dharma. So they come to Sanatana Dharma. So Richard Gere and many other Bollywood celebrities are part of this network. And to gain their funds, Democrats have to take care of him. Okay? And you saw the welcome he received in New York. More than 12,000 people lined up. No, not even American president gets that reception. Believe me. So you know how much popular. It's an internal election issue, election time. Just like in India, it happens during election time. Politicians do every type of circus dance to gain attention. In America also, you must have seen dance of AOC, Bowman, and all these people. They're all anti-India people. But then you'll see their leadership coming for Buddhist votes, including the husband of Kamala Harris. He claims he's a Jew who claims to be a follower of Buddhism. It's a big circus dance, okay? Dalai Lama has a image across party lines. This is a fantastic way to use Dalai Lama for elections. And if Tibet cause gets benefited, it's a benefit to Tibet people also. And it's beneficial to India also. So there is a internal politics of due to American elections. There's an India relation, China, there's a CIA operation, the Make India China fight. And so all these things simultaneously, it is a big thing. So all the media which is reporting is all, controlled from where. Partha, were US natives really blood savages? I've spoken a lot on this and I've written a book, Gold, Glory, and God. You can check out that book. Yes, you're absolutely right. That it was just a fake story written. US natives were not blood savages. In fact, the people who wrote this report were blood savages. If you read the American Declaration of Independence, the one of the reasons why 13 colonies declared independence was King of England was not allowing them to kill Indian savages. These are the words. And that's why Declaration of Independence is not discussed openly in America, because it is a document which exposes the colonization and illegal settler colonization of USA and destruction of Native Americans, Native Indians, American Indians. Okay? आदित्य जी, अमेरिका नटवर है इन जमीले में, ऐसा नहीं है सरोज जी, बिकॉज ये कलयुग है, कोई ना कोई तो कलयुग का एजेंट बनेगा. अभी अमेरिका चल रहा है कलयुग का एजेंट, एंग्लो सैक्सन रेस है. सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कलयुगा, और ये ऐसे ही चलता है यहाँ पे कलयुग में काम. इसलिए हरिनाम लो, निकल जाए यहाँ से. कृते ध्यायते विष्णु तेताय मजदो मगे द्वापरी परिचर्यायाम कलौ तधरि कीर्तना. आप लोग इंग्लिश हिंदी दोनों में पूछ सकते हैं. इफ यू आस्क इन इंग्लिश, आई विल आंसर इन इंग्लिश. ओके. सिद्धि विनायक जी, और आप सबके लिए एक हिंदी में प्लेलिस्ट मैंने शुरू करी है. उसमें कथाएं हैं, काफी गूढ़ कथाएं हैं, सिर्फ मेंबर्स के लिए है. रीजन इसलिए किया मैंने, बिकॉज सारे सीक्रेट सबको नहीं बताए जाते. तो मेंबर्स के लिए जो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो उनको थोड़ा सा शास्त्रों पे बेसिस पे ज्ञान. तो पहले मृत्यु देवी से शुरू किया मैंने. वो ब्रह्मा की पुत्री है, तो मृत्यु से डरिए मत, मृत्यु देवी से. कार्य अच्छे करिए, ऐसा भी मत सोचिए आपको आपके सारे दुख दर्द दूर हो जाएंगे, नहीं. ये पृथ्वी है, जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि, उनके जो आंसू हैं वही बीमारियां बन गई, ज्वर. तो ब्रह्मा जी ने उनको संभाल के रख लिया, उनको दे दिया, ब्रह्मा की पुत्री है. तो मृत्यु देवी के बारे में जानने के बाद भी आपको दुख मिलेगा, आपको सत परेशानी होगी, लेकिन उनको मत कोसिए. आप सिर्फ भजन में लगिए, हरि भजन में. ओके. और डरने की भी बात नहीं है. भयम द्वितीय विनिवेशिता स्यात्. हरि के भक्त को किसी से भी भय होने की जरूरत नहीं है. मुझे भी भय नहीं है. डर लगता है कभी कभी, बट इट्स ओके. जब भगवान ज्यादा पुकारते हैं उसके बाद इट्स नॉर्मल. सर, द लॉस्ट सिटी ऑफ मंकी गॉड क्या है रियलिटी अमेरिका? बिल्कुल है. हनुमान जी का नहीं है, विनीत वानर का है. वो भी सुग्रीव की सेनाएं हैं, वो भी हनुमान जी के सहयोगी. वो है ग्वाटेमाला में, लादंता, और उधर तिकाल, लादंता तिकाल. और कुछ पार्ट्स उसका चियापा में है, कुछ पार्ट्स युकतान में है. उसके बारे में अगले ट्रिप में बताऊंगा मैं, अगस्त के बाद. अभी तो लिटरेचर फेस्टिवल आने वाला है. आप लोग हेल्प करिए, प्लीज हेल्प अस इन लिटरेचर फेस्टिवल इन सैन डिएगो. डू स्पॉन्सर इट, and I'll be very grateful to all of you. If you're in the US, do sponsor it. Ayan Pachore ji ka next question hai. Latvians right wing have been peddling false narratives of caste before elections, specifically Abhijit and Mitra. How would you counter the caste narrative? Well, none of these people have read Bhagavad Gita. None of these people have really understood Bhagavad Gita. Their idea of Bhagavad Gita comes from hearing third-party sources, not from our parampara. They don't even believe in the actual authenticity of Bhagavad Gita, many of them. And this particular individual has done many shows on my channel. I know him, but I still don't know him. Okay? So I totally disagree on the basis of caste lines and what these people think. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't promote Jativad. Bhagavan Krishna says, Shrimatam Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe. Based on your karma, you get birth into rich families or spiritually advanced families. Shuchinam means Brahman families or people who are close to Veda, or Shrimatam or rich mercantile family. So your previous karma automatically gives you a family as a reward for you. Now what you do after that is depending on your karma. Okay. Sometimes a person previous karma may not be good, and you are born into a family which is very poor or not spiritually inclined, but a child gets inspiration from somewhere. He listens to a katha, he listens to harinam. Even that child can become a brahman by training. That's called varna. So when you're born into a particular family, that's called just jati. Right? It just means a record of taking birth, jati, in that family or tradition, jati. But it doesn't mean that others are less fortunate. No, anybody can learn and rise. So both are true. Both aspects are true. Varna system is not jati system. Varna system is a categorization, and the children are assigned a particular varna based on their guna and karma, and they are not given the benefits of just the birth. Okay? So even though Karna apparently was a Kunti's son taken care by a Suta, and he considered himself a Sutputra, but his qualities were of Kunti, it's very confusing. So he was regarded as Kshatriya. He was given as a king, called a king. Okay. So I hope that clarifies. You can do more discussion on this. The whole program will go on, but you need to understand these basic things. Both are right. How big is Vikramaditya Empire? I'll do a big show on this. Vikramaditya Empire is almost the entire southern Asia. Entire southern Asia. Very big empire. Where is Kapil Ashram located? Kapil Ashram is located in the when Ganga meets Bay of Bengal. That is Kapil Ashram. Okay. Kapil Ashram is also the place where Kapil and Devhuti spoke. That is in Siddhashram near Gaya. Both are Kapil Ashram. Sattology, please throw some light. Please do support us, and also in a big way, because it helps us to grow and hire more people to do some work that we are trying to do. Sattology, please throw some light on why dinosaurs are not mentioned in Veda, because it's not a reality. The entire paleontology is a creation to create toys. In Satyuga, the sizes were already big. Satyuga, the sizes were big, and so reptiles were there, big size. Understand? So those fossils, if you find them, will be big in nature. It's a creation of the paleontology. The whole paleontology sciences. See, most of the Western departments of education are built to make money. Take out some money. Like they will find money, they will find any reason to make money. Okay. Uh, Bana, if one wishes to know situation of Bengal, one will ask Bengali Hindus. If one wishes to know Punjabi Hindus, and Pakanda Sikh, which is similar to Islam. See, number one, Sikh means a student. Okay, that's the actual name. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, I've written in the Sattology.com, check out the article. His Diksha on Harinam happened with Nityanand. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand, you have heard of Gaur Nitai? The same Nityanand in Sylhet, in Bangladesh today. And he never taught anything which is away from Sanatana Dharma. His two sons, his children, one founded Udasin sect, another one Akal. Akal means Sanatan. So Sikh means a student of Veda or Sanatan Dharma. Actual meaning is this: Sikh or what? And Guru Nanak Dev was in the time where Afghanistan had severe Islamic influence, and he fought so hard to preach Sanatan Dharma there to protect Hindus, Sanatan Dharma followers. You can see the Gurubani, you can see the 10 Gurus. All the 10 Gurus of Sikh gave their life to protect Sanatan Dharma. Maharaj Ranjit Singh, which came after Shivaji Maharaj in the early 19th century, he actually created an empire from Ladakh to Kabul. He is the one who donated gold for Kashi Vishnath. So, what you see today, what they are doing, SGPC. SGPC was created by the British. Search on Google. Created by the British to create a divide amongst Hindus. So, if Sikh were not part of Hindus, why would British would like to create a division? So Sikh were considered part of Hindu. Even when I was small, they were still considered part of Hindu. I was told ये हमारे लोग हैं, Hindu ही हैं. So what I'm trying to say is that don't go by current propaganda, understand the history, and there are many Sikh people who are resent what is happening to their Gurudwara. Gurudwara means Guru of what? Guru Sanskrit में है. Guru means in Sanskrit. Guru of Sanatan Dharma. Guru Nanak. Okay? So don't get carried away with propaganda. Sikh people are our brothers and they are same culture like you and me, very kind, very happy, and what is happening to them is very sad. And whatever way we can help, we can help. But it is so much violence is there that if the violence is imposed on Hindus by them, then it is not good for them, because the whole point is by they are unfortunately getting money from the West and some Islamic enemies of India like Pakistan, and these people will actually destroy Sikh culture completely. Okay, so they have to be very much aware of that. Their biggest protector is Sanatan Dharma. Their biggest source of validity is Sanatan Dharma. Guru Granth Sahib is a document of Sanatan Dharma. Our Sikh gurus, 10 Sikh gurus, have nothing but given pure teachings of Sanatan Dharma. So they are intrinsic part of Sanatan Dharma. So if they cut this umbilical cord with Sanatan Dharma, then they'll be easy prey. And that's what is happening in conversion in Punjab. And Punjabi conversion is done by the Catholics. Okay. And the Manipur conversion is done by Episcopals or Presbyterians. Presbyterians is a Protestant church. You need to understand, one is English church. So what is happening in Manipur is a British influence, and what is happening in Punjab is a Catholic influence. Both are different. How can I get into the volunteer Islamic text? Sattology at sattology.org. Please do that. I'll write the email here. You can see on the screen. You can reach out to us. Yeah? If you can. Okay. Now, next question is. I'm missing out many questions here. So, how big is Vikramaditya, Kapilashram, Light and White Dinosaurs, Situation of Bengal? How can I get in touch? Okay. Learn. Awan, thank you. Thank you. Warners to normalize. We don't want to engage in that. You need to understand the reality. I cannot speak on something imaginary. So what others do, I don't know. But I told you what my viewpoint is. Partha, do you mean Khalistanis? Yeah, Khalistanis is a total intelligence creation of the West. Okay, it only exists in Canada. Doesn't nowhere else. It can exist in the US also, but they are scared of breaking American laws. So it's going to be tough for them. And don't want to say much on this. They try to attack me too. Shankaran, about the ongoing Western narrative, the native gods or aliens give momentum. No aliens, they're Sanatan Dharmi. Sanatan Dharmi. Shivji, Ushna, Shukracharya. No aliens. Obviously, they don't live on Earth. Mahadev lives wherever he wants to live. So, our Sanatan Dharma, not aliens. The aliens thing is made by the church and the fear of the English church so they can control. Fear and control. Now, all this nonsense, they have to control their own people. No more the world. Anglo Saxons have to control their own people. And since no one is going to listen, so the followers of the English church, any Church of England affiliate, will be really troubled by their own church, actually. This is the future. Anne Pachori, I learned a lot in role model. Thank you, Anne. Warner, that's a problem. Zakir Naik is the most uneducated, uncivilized, and he lies all the time. It's a propaganda machine. If you take him seriously, there is a problem with you. If anyone takes him seriously, okay, he cannot even prove that who did Muhammad see if Gabriel did not exist. Sometimes ask him tough questions. Partha, it's a private conversation going on. सिद्धि विनायक जी, इट्स अ डीप स्टेट के अगेंस्ट हम बागेश्वर बाबू जी को यूज, प्लीज आई डोंट लाइक द वर्ड यूज, हम किसी को यूज करना नहीं चाहते हैं। और जब आप हिंदी में लिखते हैं तो आप देवनागरी में लिखिए, आई रियली अप्रिशिएट दैट। हम लोग किसी को यूज करना, बागेश्वर बाबा जी महान व्यक्ति हैं, वो गुरु हैं, हम किसी को भी यूज करना नहीं चाहते। दिस वर्ड इटसेल्फ इज वेरी बैड। ओके, हम सिर्फ अपने गुरुओं की आज्ञा का पालन कर सकते हैं, हम उनको यूज नहीं कर सकते। समझे? कैन यू सेंड मी लिंक ऑफ कनाल संस्कृत एंड महाभारत श्लोक? मेरी बुक में है। टीचिंग इन स्कूल्स इज in dinosaurs saying why you need Sikhism, you can also be wrong. सिखिज्म और नानक जी पे मैंने बहुत रिसर्च किया है वानर जी, बहुत ज्यादा रिसर्च किया है मैंने उनके ऊपर, और इसलिए मैं एकदम श्योर हूँ, बहुत रिसर्च किया है और अपने गुरुओं से सुना है मैंने। तो अब मैं गुरु की वाणी को तो मैं आगे निकल नहीं पाऊंगा। ओके, हमारे संप्रदाय के गुरु प्रवचन नहीं देते, ज्यादा पब्लिक में वो दिखेंगे भी नहीं, लेकिन एकदम एक्यूरेट इंफॉर्मेशन होती है उनकी। और गुरु नानक जी के तो शब्द हैं, जगन्नाथपुरी में वेट कर रहे हैं, चैतन्य महाप्रभु का वेट कर रहे हैं मिलने के लिए। चैतन्य महाप्रभु के जो सेवक हैं वो रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं गुरु नानक आए मिलने के लिए। तो बहुत सारा रिकॉर्ड्स है। तो गुरु नानक जी पे बिल्कुल कोई प्रश्न मत उठाइए, जो भी उठा रहा है वो पाप कर रहा है। प्रोपागेंडा में इतना भी पागल नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम गुरु पे क्वेश्चन उठा दें। हम लोग गुरु को यूज नहीं करते, हम गुरु की सेवा करते हैं। तद्विधि प्रणिपाते न परिप्रश्न सेवया उपदेक्षण तद, यही गीता का वो है। ज्ञानिनस तत्वदर्शिना, तत्वदर्शी है, हरिनाम ले रहे हैं, क्या सिखा रहे हैं? नाम जपना सिखा रहे हैं, है ना? तो क्या ऐसे व्यक्ति को भी आप क्वेश्चन करेंगे जस्ट बिकॉज आपको किसी ट्विटर में लिख दिया? ट्विटर की क्या औकात है? हमारे गुरु गुरु है। पार्थ जी, अच्छा प्राइवेट कन्वर्सेशन चल रहा है मुझे एट द रेट। सिख और सनातन धर्म में हिंदुओं में कोई फर्क ही नहीं है। हिंदू परिवार से ही सिख बने हैं, समझिए इसको। वह सब हमारे लोग ही हैं, हमारे लोग हैं। सिख का अर्थ ही होता है सनातन धर्म के बारे में पढ़ना, समझे आप? ये सूफीज्म तो, औरंगजेब भी सूफी था। सिख को आप सूफी से कनेक्ट मत करिए। ये मॉडर्न जो वर्जन चल रहा है सिख सूफीज्म, ये सब ब्रिटिश क्रिएशन है। प्योर गुरु नानक देव का कोई संबंध ही नहीं है किसी और से। वो तो प्रचार कर रहे हैं नाम जपने का काबुल में, है ना? प्रचार कर रहे हैं, तो उसको अलग मानिए। जो मॉडर्न जो स्टोरीज बनाई गई हैं सब खालिस्तानियों की बनाई गई है। आर यू पंजाबी? नो पंजाब, नो गुरु, हाउ कैन से यू विल बी ए गुरु? हाउ कैन गुरुज बी? अरे आप भी गुरु बन सकते हैं वानर जी। आप भी बन सकते हैं गुरु। आप गीता पढ़िए, लोगों को पढ़ाइए, हो गए गुरु। रिपीट करिए, आपको धीरे धीरे रिपीट करते करते रियलाइजेशन हो जाएगा। हरिनाम लीजिए, फिर दीक्षा लीजिए, पढ़िए, अंदर किसी के अंदर पढ़िए पहले ध्यान से, फिर उनसे दीक्षा लीजिए, नाम जप करिए। गुरु तो कोई भी बन सकता है। चैतन्य महाप्रभु तो बोलते हैं, हमारा आज्ञा है होए कि माय ऑन माय ऑर्डर बिकम ए गुरु एंड डिलीवर सब एवरीवन, सारे देशों को तार दो। चैतन्य महाप्रभु की तो आज्ञा है, बनिए, क्या डर है? समझा? सर, डिड शैविज्म in India started in Kashmir? You have never talked about Tantra in Kashmir Shaivism. देखिए, महादेव, पहली बात तो शैविज्म शब्द ही को फेंक दीजिए दिमाग से। शैविज्म, वैष्णविज्म, शैव, शक्ताइट, दिमाग से फेंक दीजिए। ओके, ये सब ब्रिटिश क्रिएशन है। जहां इज्म लग जाता है टेम्परेरी हो जाता है। इसलिए मैंने लिखा है क्रिश्चियनिज्म, इस्लामिज्म, जुडाइज्म, ये सही में इज्म्स है। ओके, शिव भगवान प्रकृति के शुरुआत से हैं, सदाशिव। चाहे आप शिव जी के भक्त हो, चाहे नारायण के भक्त हो, चाहे देवी के भक्त हो, देवी भगवती राधा रानी शिव जी के कृष्ण के साथ रहती हैं, लक्ष्मी देवी विष्णु के साथ रहती हैं। आप किसी के भी भक्त बन जाइए, उसको प्रॉपरली फॉलो करिए। शैविज्म वर्ड्स की सिर्फ बात कर रहा हूं। शैविज्म वर्ड इज ए मिथोलॉजी, वैष्णविज्म वर्ड इज ए मिथोलॉजी, सिर्फ वर्ड की बात कर रहा हूं। लेकिन विष्णु सत्य है, शिवजी सत्य है, दुर्गा देवी सत्य है, राधा रानी सत्य है, लक्ष्मी सत्य है। तो आप इज्म को निकाल दीजिए, ठीक है? अब दूसरा क्वेश्चन आपका, तंत्र और कश्मीर शैविज्म, ठीक है? शिव जी की आराधना पूरे विश्व में होती है। मैंने रिसेंटली प्रूव किया कि शिव जी की आराधना मेक्सिको में युकतान में होती है। उष्माल जो है, उष्णा की जगह है, उसके गुरु है महादेव और भगवती। भगवती उनको अपना बेटा बुलाती है, शुक्राचार्य को, समझे आप? तो अनेक प्रांतों में अलग अलग तरीके से पूजा होती है। जैसे आप, जिसके जैसी इच्छा हो। मेरू पर्वत पे शिव जी की आराधना, जो टेंग्रिज्म बोलते हैं आप लोग, टेंग्रिज्म जो बुलाते हैं, टेंगरी, टेंगरी एक नाम भी है शिव जी का। उन पिनाकी की पूजा अलग रूप में से होती है। आप ये तो बोलेंगे नहीं कि किर्गिस्तानी शैविज्म, ठीक है? इसी तरह कश्मीर में एक थोड़ा सा रिचुअल चेंज होता है, तो कश्मीर को बुला दिया उन्होंने, कश्मीर में शिव जी की पूजा। इस तरह साउथ इंडिया में शिव जी की पूजा। तो टर्म से मत घुसिए, बिकॉज जैसे आप शैविज्म बोल दिया, आपने बोल दिया कि शिव जी की पूजा मिथोलॉजी है। इसे इज्म यूज मत करिए कहीं पर भी। तो कश्मीर में शिव जी के भक्त हैं। तंत्र है, तंत्र का साधना होती है। तंत्र के द्वारा गुणों पे राज किया जाता है। ये शायद आपको किसी ने नहीं बताया होगा। प्रकृति के 3 गुण होते हैं, सत्व रजस तमस। तंत्र का अर्थ होता है सिस्टम, अंग्रेजी में बोलेंगे तो, या एक एक उपाय। उसके माध्यम से आप तीनों गुणों के पार जाते हैं। ओके, ये सिस्टम है। इससे मेरा बहुत बुक पे द पांडवास द फेमस 5 पढ़िएगा, निशांत कुलश्रेष्ठ ऑन सतोलॉजी, सर्च करिए अमेजोन पे, आपको मिलेगी वो पुस्तक। उसमें मैंने डिटेल में कवर किया है सेंट्रल एशिया को, क्योंकि पांडवों का जन्म हिमालय से ऊपर हुआ है। बिल्कुल सही बोला सरोज जी, बिकॉज ये जो सिख के ऊपर जो अटैक किया है ब्रिटिश ने, और ये बड़ी विडंबना है कि जो अच्छे सिख हैं उनको बोलने का मौका नहीं दिया जाता है। बेचारे एसजीपीसी तक वो उनको उनकी कोई रक्षा करनी चाहिए जाके। सिखों ने हमेशा सनातन धर्म की रक्षा करी, आज हमारी बारी है एसजीपीसी से उनकी रक्षा की जाए। वहां पे योग को मार दिया पूरे, उसमें योगी लिखा हुआ है गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब में, और योगी की पिटाई करी वहां पे अमृतसर में। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। उनको हमारे सनातन धर्म के गुरु हैं गुरु नानक देव, उनको अलग मत मानिए। What measures on global warming are taken, or are we past that point of return? ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एक सत्य है, और उसका मेन कारण है वेस्टर्न कंज्यूमरिज्म। ओके, तो बहुत सारा लैंड जो है वेस्ट का वो जाने वाला है बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबल वार्मिंग। अब इसमें पर कैपिटा अगर हम देखें, भारत में रीयूज का जो माइंडसेट है, जुगाड़ माइंडसेट है, दैट इज अ वेरी गुड माइंडसेट टू प्रिजर्व। और सिर्फ पेड़ लगाने से होगा नहीं, क्योंकि अर्थ का साइकिल नेचुरल है। तो जमीन कम होगी, प्रेशर ज्यादा बनेगा, और कलयुग आगे बढ़ेगा। ये एग्जैक्टली हो रहा है। Why English spellings are not correct? Example, but and but. English is a funny language. People who speak English are also logically challenged sometimes. Sir, make videos on Punjab Hindu Tirthas. Punjab's ancient name is Panchnad. Panchnad Desh. And it was under the protection of Jaidrat, Sindh के नरेश, और बाद में it was under the protection of पांडवा। ये महाभारत के समय का है। तो पंचनद देश, majority of that part has now gone to today's Pakistan. That's why Pakistan is an artificial state. And Pakistan side of Punjab is a Hindu country occupied by the Islamic invaders. So it is time to not only ask for POK, but Punjab, Pakistani Punjab also. What measures on global warming? बता दिया already. Guru Kalkanand Swami ji. Yes, Semitic languages. Yes, it is a family of Semitic languages. Correct. On Kindle is there, Saffron Man. लगता है आप लोग ही सिर्फ ज्ञानी हो and refuse to listen to the Hindus. Maybe some others are trying to awaken sleep Hindus. लगता है आप लोग ही सिर्फ ज्ञानी हो। I don't understand this comment, महाराज जी। आप परंपरा से सीखेंगे तो आपको बहुत ज्ञान मिलेगा, which is traditional sources. सर, सनातन धर्म में अंधविश्वास का झूठा गेम प्लान करके, सनातन धर्म में अंधविश्वास होता ही नहीं है, मिशनरी में अंधविश्वास होता है। वो लोग किसी को छूते हैं तो उसका कैंसर गायब कर देते हैं। आप देखते हैं इवेंजेलिकल्स को, वो पूरा का पूरा काल्पनिक है, पूरा सब कुछ ही काल्पनिक है वहां पे। उनको वो जीसस भी कभी था या नहीं था उसके बारे में भी कोई किसी को पता नहीं है। बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन किया है अमेरिकन प्रोफेसर्स ने। नॉट अ सिंगल रोमन न्यू वेदर जीसस वाज देयर और नॉट। नोबडी न्यू। So if current, and Romans are very good writers. If the Romans did not know who is Jesus, then ये पूरा imaginary story है Temple of Nicaea का. The whole thing is imaginary. Therefore they do all this बंदरगिरी. यहाँ पे आके हिंदुओं की ड्रेस पहन लेते हैं, अफ्रीका में जाके अफ्रीकन की ड्रेस पहन लेते हैं. Total cartoon गिरी. It's a classical way of capturing land and people's power. Make them permanent slaves. This is why the religion is the most hated word in the West now. Viram Singh, Sat Sri Akal, Jai Shri Ram. Absolutely, Viram ji. Was Kumari Kandam a reality or a myth? Your views. Kumari Kandam. Kumari Kandam is a very debatable topic. We will talk about it. I'll take this note. I'll do a separate show on this, Anand Kumar ji. Okay, reminding me also. वाहेगुरु दा खालसा वाहेगुरु दी फतेह अब जीसस का खालसा संदकला यस कुछ करिए कुछ करिए पंजाब इज वाल्मीकि आश्रम शक्तिपीठ रिसेंटली देखा यस इट इज देयर अंबाला अंबाला इज ए अंबा देवी का मंदिर दुर्गा देवी का मंदिर अंबाला is partly in Punjab partly in Haryana both cities both states okay and many such places there Lahupur. Now, I have done a separate show on Love and Kush, and do see that show also. And also, Lakshman's children were given land, and Bharat's children as well as the Shatrughan's children. So I've done all those shows. You just check it out. Vanar is giving good information. Is Vahe is taken from Vahid. So you must be knowing about this Vanar. I don't know. So you must have done a lot of research. I only know very basic. I know Guru Nanak Ji and how his Diksha happened in Bengal. I know those things, and he visited Jagannath Puri. Jesus is a fictional character. Jesus never visited anywhere. He was not even existing. इंडिया में भी नहीं आए, कश्मीर में भी कुछ नहीं जो बनाया हुआ है, सब ऐसे झूठ बनाया हुआ है किसी का. So he's a total fictional character. But again, Guru Nanak Ji is real. Guru Nanak Ji is our Guru. Sanatan Dharma ki Guru. Yeah. So don't get carried away by propaganda, research. And this show is on 3 days. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this is the 14th show of Sattology show. And we'll continue to discuss openly these topics. And you will also hear my views personally. Do join our training programs, our Transcending the Mind workshops, 12x Debunking Mythology course, 12x Yoga Sutra course. All these courses are there on our website everydaychant.com. वहाँ पे आप sign up कर सकते हैं. And most of the courses are free, based on donations only. And but education is free. Is only thing is sincerity. For exams we charge if you want to get certified. Otherwise, courses information is free and based on my books only. And I've been translated them, Bhagavad Gita as well as other books. Does culture mean Kal Chakra? Because deep state hates culture. Understand one thing. Sanskriti is not culture. Sanskriti comes from Sanskrit, which means comes from sanskar. So संस्कार से संस्कृति होती है. कितने संस्कार होते हैं आपके जन्म लेने से मृत्यु तक? बताइए जरा, है ना। 36 इंपॉर्टेंट संस्कार आते हैं, 36 टोटल, 36, लेकिन टोटल संस्कार 64 है। जितनी कला उतने संस्कार। ओके, कला 64 होती है, संस्कार भी 64 होंगे, लेकिन इंपॉर्टेंट वाले 36 है। तो संस्कार 16 मेन है। ओके निशान जी, 16 मेन है, पर टोटल 36 है टोटल जीवन में, जन्म से मृत्यु तक, अंतकाल तक। तो डीप स्टेट का संस्कार से कोई संबंध नहीं। और जो इंग्लिश वर्ड कल्चर मीन्स, इनके अनुसार कल्चर जो होता है, भोजन क्या खा रहे हैं, भाषा क्या बोल रहे हैं, किस तरह रहते हैं, कपड़े किस तरह पहनते हैं, ये इनके लिए कल्चर है। हमारा कपड़ों से, भोजन से, संस्कार का कोई संबंध ही नहीं है। संस्कार से तो पुण्य कर्म होते हैं, सतगुण, रजोगुण, तमोगुण, पुण्य कर्म होते हैं संस्कारों से। तो संस्कार इज बेस्ड ऑन वेद। ये डीप स्टेट जो बोगी बना हुआ है पूरा, ये चर्च ऑफ इंग्लैंड है, ये चर्च के लोग हैं सारे के सारे। पैसा कंट्रोल, लूट पसोट। अब ये मानिए डाकू हैं, अच्छी भाषा में डाकू लोग हैं। ओके, तो संस्कार का कोई संबंध नहीं है, कल्चर शब्द संस्कार होता नहीं है। तो आपने मेरे पास बुक है एक्चुअली संस्कारों के ऊपर, तो मैं आपको कभी पढ़ के सुनाऊंगा संस्कार सारे, मुझे याद दिला दीजिएगा विराम सिंह जी। तो हमारे संस्कार वेदों पे आधारित होते हैं, जरा संस्कार को पालन करिए। और कल्चर जो शब्द है, ये बड़ा भयंकर चीज है। ये जो कैथोलिक और ये सब जो रिलीजन्स हैं, ये कल्चर को रिप्लेस कर देते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद रिलीजन से रिप्लेस करते हैं, फिर रिलीजन से आपके सब कुछ रिप्लेस कर देते हैं। ये बात याद रखिएगा। जितने भी गाय काटते हैं, वे सब के सब कन्वर्टेड लोग हैं। तो उन्होंने संस्कार भी खत्म कर दिए रिलीजन के नाम पे। लाहौर नरसिंह टेम्पल, कटरा, यस, उसमें बहुत सारा मैंने प्रूफ दिया है। मुल्तान मूल स्थान नरसिंह देव का मंदिर है। युधिष्ठिर का सारियों का समझा, यस, ये टॉपिक्स हैं मेरे पास जीत जी। एग्री, बिल्कुल सही है वानर जी, वो जस्ट लाइक सर भाई राधा, बिल्कुल मेंशन है भाई। अन्य आराधिता देवी, और राधा रानी प्राइवेट नाम है, प्राइवेट लीला है। भगवती पुराण में नाम है, भागवत देवी महाभागवत पुराण में नाम है, मैंने बहुत बार इसको लिखा भी है हर जगह। 16 संस्कार जन्म टू मृत्यु, करेक्ट सर। गुण है ना जी, गुण 3 होते हैं, सत्व रजस तमस। टोटली रॉन्ग इन्फॉर्मेशन वानर जी, टोटली रॉन्ग। राधा रानी का नाम बहुत पहले से चल रहा है, टोटली रॉन्ग, करेक्ट। ये तो प्रोपेगेंडा है ब्रिटिश का। भक्ति मूवमेंट, अरे भक्ति तो ब्रह्मा के समय से चल रही है। जब शिवजी हुए तब से भक्ति चल रही है, विष्णु जब से हुए तब से भक्ति चल रही है। भक्ति मूवमेंट ये बकवास यूरोपियन वर्जन है। ओके, नॉट अवर थिंग। क्या भक्त पहले नहीं थे, भक्ति मूवमेंट से पहले? आर इंडियन जेनेटिक्स रियली बैड? नो, इंडियन जेनेटिक्स आर द बेस्ट। देवता लोग जन्म लेना चाहते हैं भारत में, देवता लोग जन्म लेना चाहते हैं भारत में। इंडियन जीन्स आर द बेस्ट जीन्स इन द वर्ल्ड, द बेस्ट सेंसेस, द बेस्ट रिप्रोडक्टिव जीन्स। इसलिए तो पॉपुलेशन हमारा इतना ज्यादा है, उनके तो बच्चे भी नहीं होते हैं, समझे आप। हिंदूज आर द ओरिजिनल पीपल ऑफ भारत, दे आर द नेटिव इंडिजिनस कम्युनिटी ऑफ भारत। इट्स द ओनली कंट्री रूल्ड बाय द नेटिव इंडिजिनस पीपल। द प्रेसिडेंट इज ऑल्सो, सारे हिंदू नेटिव्स हैं, सारे हिंदू इंडिजिनस पीपल है। और जो हमने रिलीजन बदल लिया मुसलमान, वो अब अरबी हो गए, अब नेटिव नहीं रहे। बेस्ड ऑन ए माइंडसेट योर थिंग्स चेंज। वी डोंट बिलीव इन द जीन्स थ्योरी। वो आरएसएस को बिलीव करने दो, हम लोग नहीं बिलीव करते जीन्स पे। हम लोग गोत्र में बिलीव करते हैं, गोत्र। ओके, अगर आपका जन्म भारत में हुआ है और आप हिंदू हैं, यू आर द बेस्ट ह्यूमन बीइंग ऑन द प्लेनेट. I'm saying next. Thank you. No worries, no apologies, Banerjee. No apologies. We need Hindu school, seriously. Our Vedic Gurukulam is there every Sunday. So वो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, but not a dedicated Gurukul, क्योंकि उसके लिए आपको गुरु चाहिए. बिना गुरु के होता नहीं है, और गुरु का ट्रेनिंग होना चाहिए. राधा रानी का नाम हमेशा रहा है, हमेशा रहा है. ये मुझे पता नहीं है. भक्ति पृथ्वी के आराम से है भाई. पहले भक्ति ब्रह्मा जी है. तप कर, तप उनको बोला, तप कर रहे हैं, जप कर रहे हैं. हाउ यू कैन से सनातन धर्म इज वेरी ब्राइट फ्यूचर, रचित नारायण जी. सनातन धर्म कैन नेवर वैनिश ऑन दिस अर्थ. जब तक सूर्य है और चंद्र है और पहाड़ है, सनातन धर्म इज गोइंग टू ग्रो. तो बिल्कुल, जो बोलता है ना सनातन धर्म खतरे में है, वो स्वयं ही खतरे में है. ओके, सनातन धर्म खतरे में नहीं है, हम और आप खतरे में है अगर हम सनातन धर्म का पालन नहीं करते तो. समझे? सनातन धर्म तो विष्णु का है, सनातन है, उसका नाम ही सनातन है, इटर्नल. हर पेड़ सनातन धर्म फॉलो करता है, उसी का सनातन है. आपका एवरी चाइल्ड ओरिजिनली विल फॉलो हिज स्वधर्म, ओरिजिनल नेचर. तो सनातन धर्म को, ओरिजिनल नेचर को कौन खत्म कर सकता है भाई, कौन? आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड लॉजिक. चलिए, काफी लंबा हो गया आज. एंड थैंक यू ऑल फॉर ज्वाइनिंग, एंड थैंक यू फॉर लिसनिंग. एंड आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. जय जगन्नाथ. और हम लोग बाद में कभी बात करेंगे. एंड अगले शो में जुड़िएगा, आज सतोलॉजी में, एंड वील हैव अ लॉन्ग डिस्कशन ऑन दिस. थैंक यू ऑल फॉर ज्वाइनिंग, और बड़े नंबर से जुड़िए नेक्स्ट टाइम, सो दैट वी कैन हैव मोर एनकरेजिंग थिंग फॉर अस. जय जगन्नाथ.